Welcome back to Eyes on the Ball. We're back with another episode. Actually, not an episode. We're back with a preview once again, man. Preview for the North London derby. Still one of the biggest games of the season. Still two of the biggest clubs in England. But I've got some great guests with me. Got my guy Jack from Touchline Hotspur. Happy to have you, bro.
It's good to be on, man. Thanks for having me.
Got my guy Manny. It's one of the them Arsenal fan till he dies. You man know Manny. Had him on the pod. Got pissed as well. Brought the man them back. It's a hard time being an Arsenal fan right now. So, but I had to bring the man them back.
Yo, I'm tryna get my sterling up in the city, so s'il vous plaît. As soon as my child can walk, it's straight Project Mbappe. But all the verbal, as soon as I hear that whistle, we get straight to the action. Come on lads, where's the passion? Do like Alamat see, we wear headbands for the fashion. If the defenders drop back, we counter and then attack them. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball, yeah. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball, yeah. I got my eye on the ball, I got my eye on the ball.
Appreciate you, man, for coming on, man. So, where do we start? We'll start on your current form. Two opposite ends of the spectrum right now. It's tough being an Arsenal fan right now. Can't buy a win. Coming off a loss to Wolves. Guys, talk to me, man. Talk to me about, the state of your club. Your thoughts on Arteta. Just put it all on the table for us, because I know it's tough being an Arsenal fan right now.
Darren is enjoying this too much, man.
He's loving it, man. Oh my god.
I'm fuming, but yeah. To be honest, it's not. I think the most damning indictment on it was that I was not surprised that we lost to Wolves in the slightest, to be honest. Especially when I knew Traore was starting. My gosh, because the thing is, the worst thing and the most predictable thing about us over the last few years is that when we are faced up against pace and power or any athleticism of any sort, we absolutely crumble. And it just keeps getting shown more and more. And the thing is, even the two signings that we made this summer, the way that they've changed the team, or the way that you can see how they stand up in the team, just shows it even more. And obviously now that we haven't got Partey, we're starting with Xhaka, who moves like a bus, and then you've got Ceballos, who doesn't have pace in him. Do you get what I mean? So it's not like...
Even throw Willock in there, he ain't no athlete either.
He's got heart, man, and he's got stamina in it. So it's more
that's only valuable in like the 70 plus minute, bro. No one cares about that for the first 6.
To be fair though, you're playing Willock at 10, he's not a 10, so what do you expect is going to happen? I don't know, some of the decisions that are going on right now are a bit worrying, because it's not really making tactical sense.
No sense whatsoever. Arteta looks lost, man. It's uninspiring to watch that. It's demoralizing.
That's your man's best though. That's your man's.
No, it's getting tiring, man. Like, fair enough, it's only the beginning. He's only had a little bit of time, but you can still there'll be an opportunity for us to see his vision. We sort of saw his vision in the beginning, but it's seeming like it's starting to fall apart, because if he at least stuck to his guns of what he was doing before, I would understand. But I feel like now he's just trying to change it all the time. I don't know who he's trying to impress. We could give him time, but just let's see your philosophy. Let's see what you're about. But these games have just been upsetting, man.
Literally, because I can't tell you that there is a philosophy or a pattern of any sort, especially over the last few games. Because there's not, like, there should be one aspect of your game that you are like at least above average at. You know what I mean? At the beginning of the season, we could say like defensively,
exactly.
That was the one thing we had to hold on to, and then we just got piped, absolutely piped, yeah, and just run into the ground, and it all fell down from there. Like, it's not like since then the defensive structure has come back or anything like that. It hasn't. So clearly,
remind me of who you got piped by again.
Pardon?
Who pammed you
Leicester
again?
beat us, Wolves beat us.
Which one? Like, literally, you take your
I
pick.
remember there was a game where it got real
Take your pick.
ugly recently. I'm trying to remember.
Aston Villa, yes. Villa.
Villa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Villa absolutely popped you off the park.
We kept them in last season and they came back to say thank
You know, that's what pisses me off the most. They shouldn't even be here, fam. It's
Guys, it's still early days. It's still early days. Let's go to Jack. Go to the other end of the spectrum. We go from hell to heaven right now. Jack, talk to me right now about being top of the league. How does it feel, and where does your confidence lie as far as we'll talk about just where you're at the moment. Then we can move over to the managers.
Yeah, it's uncharted territory for me. I mean, even in the seasons where we so-called challenged for the league under Poch, we were never first, and I think Jose is probably the worst manager for opponents to be first.
Exactly,
because he will do whatever it takes, play whatever style he needs to play to stay there. We've seen it. We've seen that at Chelsea actually, where I think in particular where the first half of the season he was playing rip-roaring football. The Fabregas Costa link up, and then when we beat them, funnily enough, when we beat them 5-3. When Harry Kane properly burst on in the big game, that's when he just completely changed it up, switched up. And I think he's done that really early with us because our defense isn't as trustworthy. We haven't got the individual players to sort of switch. You can switch it up anytime when you want.
Yeah.
But being top, it's a great feeling.
Well, guys, your guys are shining right now.
Some people
are saying, listen. Some people are saying Dyer and Toby is the best centre back partnership in the league right now. Some people are saying Harry Kane and Son. I just saw a stat earlier on today that Harry Kane and Son have already touched Adama Traore and Jimenez record for last season in terms of goals and assists to each other. They've already.
I'm not surprised.
Them man's record for last season. So.
Kane's got 16 goal contributions in 10 Premier League games. It's insane. Like the guy, the thing is, he's playing a slightly different role, but that ability, he's been doing that for the past 4 or 5 years. We know he's got that passing ability. We've seen it time and time again. It's just coming more to fruition it's just more to light now because we're at that stage of the league and we've got Jose Mourinho as manager, and now fixtures are being televised more because of COVID essentially, and people are seeing it more. And he's just somebody. He's the best striker in the world for me, to be honest.
Listen, right now, we'll get there in terms of a certain Pierre Enrique, but we'll get there. But listen, Harry Kane's numbers right now, they are undeniable, and not only the numbers, the way he's playing, like. He's looking like he's just dominating the league right now. Like whoever he faces, it feels like he's just controlling the game. He's hard for defenders to pick up as well. So like you gotta give him credit, man. He's on pace to have like a big time season. But let's go to the managers. We touched on it a little bit, but I just want to dive in a little bit more as far as where you guys stand in terms of Arteta. Like, do you still believe in his vision? Do you believe he's the guy moving forward? And just, why aren't we seeing the best from your best players? As we say, a manager's job, get the best out of his players. And it just feels like we're not seeing the best of, your best players. We'll start with you, Manny.
Do I believe in his vision? I can't see it. Do I believe in him? I don't know, to be honest. Like, it is still early. I try to keep telling myself that it's still early, but we fell into the same trap with Emery. And by no means am I saying that he is an Emery, because people like to jump onto that one. But equally, if I can't see an identity in what you're doing by now, there is a problem there, if you know what I mean. Because even you can say the personnel is crap, which it is, so he can't take the full blame for that. But even when Klopp was playing like Liverpool with Wams, they didn't necessarily do well, but you could see the philosophy, you could see the way he was trying to play.
Well, look at Brighton, look at these teams lower in the league. Look at these teams. These teams play beautiful football.
And I think
personnel shouldn't be an issue.
Okay, especially when you're coming to a team like Arsenal you should understand that there is one thing that Arsenal fans want, which is for it to be entertaining, like at the very least. And this guy has actually structured the team into nothing. Like, if you were organised enough that you kept the clean sheets and maybe got like a 1-0 win here and there or a draw to the cool, I'd understand. But you can't lack an attacking identity and still be shipping 2 or 3 goals in a game.
Exactly.
How does that make sense? So what are you guys doing all week if neither end is patterned? Like, I don't understand. But equally, like he said, that at the beginning, it did seem like there was something starting to form. You get what I mean? Like, he did seem to have an idea of what he wanted to do and the changes that he wanted to make, which was looking good at the beginning, especially with the pressing play. Like, I like a team that presses. So I can understand if he saw that the players weren't good enough for it, but it doesn't mean you stop it completely to the point where we're just standing off of players or just like standing around and letting them do whatever they want to do. There's no intensity around the ball or anything like that. So I don't know, it's a bit worrying right now.
Sure, man.
For sure.
Jack, talk to me about Jose. You know, do you believe in what he's got going on right now? Is it second season syndrome, or can he actually build something for Spurs, you know, in the long term?
Well, last season, at the end of it, and after the Everton game, I was actually Jose out. What I'm seeing with Arsenal right now is what I was seeing with us last season. We didn't have any of the defensive mold, the players of a defensive mold to sit back and soak up pressure. So we were playing poor football and we were conceding, and our attacking, there were non-existent attacking patterns of play. That's exactly what we're seeing with Arsenal right now this season. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I think Jose did that was to start integrating that system early, even if it's going to fail. You got to learn somehow, and then obviously once you get the right players in, that system will be ingrained into the spine of the team, the core of the team. But I don't know. We want to talk about Jose here. I think it is working now. We've signed the right players. We've got. Højbjerg has been the missing puzzle that we've needed for a long time since Dembele and Wanyama started having injury problems. He's been our best player. I think he has the highest passing success and accuracy, I think, in the league. I'm not too sure on that.
No, he's up there for interceptions and tackles and stuff like that as well.
Tackles, he's just been a warrior in midfield, and we haven't had that. We've been playing winks all in midfield for the past few seasons, and I think it's trash. I did think he was average last season, but he's downgraded at an extra level. But we've got the right players, and I think Reguilon as well has been. We've been needing a left back for a very long time, just like we need that DM. And his aggression, his pace as well is really quick, and defensively as well. The way he had Mahrez
pocketed
in that game against City, he read him like a book. And the signings we've made have been a testament to that. And even Toby and Dyer, who were shocking last season and at the very beginning of this season as well. I wanted both of them gone. Dyer especially, he's been poor in midfield for a very long time. He's been poor at centre back even last season, I feel. But he's been ingrained into the system now, and it's working. And I think they've got a partnership going. They're developing a partnership, and so I'd say he's definitely buying a lot of Spurs fans now. And I've definitely, being Jose out last season, I think I've definitely bought into it. Right,
I'll give Jose credit, man. Listen, over at United, but the general consensus was that he's a relic. I said he's a relic. I said that he was done. His style of play, his approach is an expired approach. But listen, Jose is a great manager. He's proven it once again, and you got to give him credit when it's due, man. Yeah. But let's get into the game a little bit more specifically. We'll start with you, Bis. Where do you feel like the game will be won and lost?
You want me to put it simple? I think it's going to be won at Tottenham, lost with Arsenal. I'm not looking forward to this game. I'm not looking forward to this game, honestly.
Bro.
Man has no hope whatsoever.
I let him know before I came here. I'm not looking for
finish him. I hear it.
Because right now, from what I've seen from Tottenham, the Harry Kane and Son link up enough is enough to cause problems to us guys, to literally exploit all the gaps that we've got. Like, if you want me to pick positives, what I'm looking for,
seems like Party might be fit. Potentially.
No, it's true. Party's had how many games, and for me, he's just been our favourite player already. He seems to be the only one that wants to progress the ball. He's the only one that wants to keep everything ticking. So I hope, obviously, he plays. I'm honestly just hoping that the players can just, because right now I've got no faith in Arteta in it. I don't feel like Arteta can be what's going to change the game between Spurs and Arsenal. It's got to be the players just understanding how serious the game is and stepping up, just going off that buzz. But honestly, Arteta needs to start getting ready to answer, because I honestly feel like everything that he's done previously is beginning to get wiped away. I feel like in the beginning these players were just going off the buzz, new manager, old Arsenal player. Let's just play our hearts out for him. Really and truly, this guy might not even know what he's doing. Like he might just.
This sounds exactly like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This sounds exactly like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Putting out the cones, man.
Oh, I just hope it doesn't take that route. But man.
Manny, what about you, Manny, bro? Where do you feel like the game's won and lost, man? Or are you on Vissy's side where you think there's no hope?
I'm not that far gone yet. To be fair, I have been at times. I was after Aston Villa, my goodness. But my thing is, if Jose just disposed of Pep like that, how are we going to do with the B-Tech Pep? Like, how's this going to work out? Do you know what I mean? I must have been watching the match thinking, wait.
Fam?
If all the ideas I have, then what's really going to happen? But to be honest, like, firstly, I've just got to hope that Kane is actually injured, but I think he'll play, to be honest. And it's just, I feel like it's so clear that if you press us, especially in the middle, we can really give it up. And it's not like within a flash with Son and Kane, it takes 2 passes and there's a shot on goal. Like the chemistry those two have is electric, and that's my main concern, I think, and finding out who's actually going to be able to nullify that. And I don't know if we actually have an answer for that, if I'm being honest. We might have to just go to a 3 at the back again just for that defensive stability, because Gabriel is our only good defender, really. Like, don't get me wrong, David Luiz is good, he can ping a pass and all of that, but it's even scary that
he's a calamity.
It's scary that if David Luiz isn't in the team, our creativity, which is already almost 0, halves. How does that? How is he like one of our main attacking?
Okay, and how is he still on set pieces? By the way, he's been skying them for like 5 years now.
He needs to chill with them.
Yeah, go on.
I'll be real. If Aubameyang doesn't score in this game, I'm gonna be fucking fuming, man. Because he actually has a point to prove now. I understand that it's not completely his fault. Arteta has been doing some brain dead things in terms of positioning and things, but he did look off the pace last week, as in against Wolves, even in his preferred position. So even if the creativity is lacking, I don't expect his movement to be. Like, he should still be able to do what he was doing last year.
Exactly.
To a certain degree. So I am hoping that he's able to show all these people that are doubting him, as if he was a one-off top scorer last season and top scorer the season before. People need to calm down and wind the next in. I can't chat right now.
You know what? We'll get into it. No, that's your boy. But
he's embarrassing though.
Listen, there's an ongoing debate. Aubameyang ended the season on a high. Do you know what I mean? FA Cup, he carried you guys to that competition, but he's gone through a barren stretch. So people were saying after that period, boom, put him in the world class category. Harry Kane still's got to win the trophy in order to get there. Do you know what I mean? But now to start this season, tables have turned. Harry Kane is firing. Aubameyang can't buy a goal right now, but We'll go into that, debate a little bit more. But I just wanted to ask Jack, where do you think the game's won and lost?
I think it'll depend on the team that relinquishes possession. Normally, I think the team that has the ball is going to be more susceptible. Obviously, we were that team last season, the team that didn't have the ball at the end of last season, post lockdown, and Arsenal had all the ball, but we still won. Arsenal, I think, had the better chances early in the second half, but then after you pushed forward, we countered quite well, even though it was quite a cagey affair. But I wouldn't be surprised. It's not going to be as depressing as you guys are making it out to be. You will step it up. You'll definitely raise a game for this one. I think Arteta will definitely have prepared for a long time for this game, especially after the last derby. It won't be a thrashing. It won't be a thrashing day. I can tell you.
No, not at all. But to be fair, it's not the scoreline, it's the manner of performance that will be my problem. Like, I'm not expecting to lose 3-0. That's not my thing. But equally, I know that based on the past performances of Tottenham, the last couple of games, you guys are definitely up for a game, which I don't think Arsenal have been for the last few games. When someone's fully coming at you like Aston Villa did, or like Wolves did. Aston Villa have lost like 4 games since, by the way. So it's not even like you actually have to be talented per se as a team in order to actually get at us and make us lose composure. And that's where I think the main problem is. Because like you said, even last season, the goal you scored was a counter-attack. If you're going quickly, we're just all over the place. Do you know what I mean? It's so easy for us to lose structure. If it's not... pardon?
No, it was more it was a mistake from Kolasinac, and it was a set piece. We didn't earn the goals. We scored that game, but I think you've obviously got the players, and you've got the ability to raise a game and actually do something. And I don't know. I just feel if Partey is fit, you stand a chance. If he's not, then I feel for what Ndombele could do.
Ndombele is gonna rip couple man.
I feel like it will even be better off having flipping El Neni on the pitch. I feel like El Neni could thrive in this game. El Neni will give us a bit of.
El Neni's chippy, fam. He's a derby type player.
Yeah, like
that physicality. Like obviously, form goes out the window with the derby.
Exactly, as you said, man.
Also, one more thing is that against teams that do play a very low block, we haven't got a great record. Even this season, I think Newcastle did that. We're all over them. We actually played well that game, but we didn't win.
I'm interested to see what both managers do. To be fair, because Mourinho's not one that shies away from a low block himself. But if that's the way Arsenal's trying to go, do you expect Mourinho to go all out attack with it? Just to try and force the goal, or just stay reserved with it?
He won't do that.
As you said before, Mourinho's paid for the title.
Exactly. But that's an interesting question, because I wanted to follow up on something Jackson, because as he said, it was a Kolasinac mistake in the last game, and both of you guys are more of a sit back type of team. You rather have the other team have most of the possession. So would you say it's going to be who takes the initiative, or who sticks to their game plan and makes the least mistakes? Do you know what I mean? Which side of the spectrum will have more success? Whoever goes for it, or who sticks to their guns?
I think it's a bit of both. I think it's mostly whoever makes the least mistakes, especially from Arsenal's point of view. Because, like I said, when you've got Kane and Son up top, it literally takes one mistake and that's it. And with our form right now, even though it's a derby, going 1-0 down will be difficult to get your head so past. You know what I mean? Especially over the last few games with everything that's been going on. I don't think it's that easy to get your head up. But with the conservative nature that both managers have been going through right now, I do think it will be whoever's able to, just not fuck up.
For real, that's and it's similar when we faced you guys, because we gave you the penalty and that was it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a matter of But where do you stand on that, Biss? Do you feel like you guys should go for it if they're sitting back, or do you feel like stick to the conservative approach?
No, I literally feel we're best sticking with the conservative approach because, as you said, Kane's son, all it takes is one mistake. Like I feel like if last season when we could have relied on Aubameyang, I might have trusted us a bit more for that going forward or going out for the attack. But he just got to stick to his game plan and just hope everyone does their job.
Fair, Jack. Considering
last just equalised.
What minute of the game?
84th.
Wow, tough pill to swallow.
So hot.
What's he even doing on the pitch, bro?
So hot. It's so hot.
That's hilarious.
So Jack, how do you feel? Do you feel like you should go for it, considering they're gonna sit back, they'll probably give you most of the ball, or do you think Jose sticks with the conservative approach?
If what Jose ultimately wants is Arteta to have the ball, he wants Arsenal to have the ball because we can pick you off easily if you do. But we know Arteta's not going to do that. We're going to be the aggressors. And I think with Jose's football, I think under Poch we're more of a possession-based team, but we still play with a high intensity. We weren't as possession-based as a Man City are, or even a Chelsea have been this season. But when the onus was on us to attack, and when we have had space, we're always looking to play it forward, and we're always looking to just zip it all the time. We saw against you guys when it beat you 6-1. We've seen it a number of times. West Ham as well. We drew 3-3, but you see early on when we play with the high intensity, we can be. We're very penetrative, and we can break teams down very easily. Having said that, against a low block, when the team is nullifying us, how we play, how we approach it, we're not going to want to keep the ball for long. So we're always going to play a ball, and we're always going to give the ball away in that final third a lot. So without committing too many bodies forward, so it could either be a very cagey affair in that regard, even if Arsenal do sit back, or it could be absolute chaos for you lot, because it just depends on how well you defend and how aggressive your midfielders are ultimately.
That's the thing though, because I feel like it's set up to be a chess match, but Arteta is only he's in his work experience phase. He ain't got the badges that Jose does as far as a big game, a defensive game, a tight game. Jose's proven over his career that that's his bread and butter, man. And Arteta, he's still a rookie in the game, man. As Manny said, he just moved to Arteta's grandmaster. So now it's like you're just a little peasant in the game. But then again, listen, it's football. Anything can happen. But let's dive into the Aubameyang versus Harry Kane conversation, because, as I said, end of last season, Aubameyang was firing. One of the best strikers in the world at the time. And Harry Kane to start this season, he's on pace to probably have one of the best seasons in Premier League history. Do you get what I'm saying? So, how do you, man? We'll start with you, Manny and Biss. How do you feel about Aubameyang's current form and comparing him to Harry Kane? Would you say they're both world class? Would you say Harry Kane is in there? Just talk to me about that whole Harry Kane versus Aubameyang storyline. It's tough right now, considering he's barren.
It's a bit of a sticky one still, but Aubameyang's talent cannot be denied. Firstly, I would say that I would put him in the world class category. His numbers, you can't argue with his numbers, with his output, even since from Dortmund, even dare I say Saint Etienne, but either way, since he's come to England, people thought that he wouldn't be able to do what he's been doing. He's kept it consistently throughout, and you have to bear in mind the quality of the team that he's been playing with as well. These bums are actually sometimes I look at him and I just think, right, if only you had actually had, it's like when Ozil was there, 13, 14 or whatever year it was, I was thinking, if we had a good striker besides Giroud, what could have been? Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, just to interrupt you, check out Daniel's underrated legend Giroud and Peace that just dropped earlier on today.
Yeah.
But Daniel actually dove into that season, and I think Giroud had more goals than Sanchez that season. So it's hard to put it on
the striker. What did you?
No, but Sanchez was you man's gunman that season. I think he had like 25.
Yeah,
he's still the striker.
It wasn't meant to be our main goal.
It's the clear-cut chances that was the problem. This is the thing. Like, it's the clear-cut chances that were the problem with his output. Like, it's not like his numbers were ever terrible, but they just weren't good enough to be the main striker. He is the second or third striker at Chelsea now, and he's thriving. Because it's not all on him, innit? But when it was all on him, what did he do? Even at France, like, his role isn't to score goals. He didn't have a shot on target at the World Cup, you know what I mean?
No,
but that's not what we needed from him at the time, so it just doesn't work.
So what, Aubameyang without Lacazette is dry? Or what? What about Aubameyang?
What do you mean?
As in, because Lacazette is dead right now as well.
Lacazette's been dead since he got here.
Lacazette's goal output has still been decent. And he's still a decent player. I know you hate Lacazette, but
don't get over. No. But no,
what would you say? Would you still? Actually, no. Carry on. I'll ask you after. Go on.
Yeah, I just think this season the lack of creativity, followed by, I guess, the lack of tactical nous by Arteta has really, like, he's probably suffered the most out of it compared to everybody else. Like, you're putting what's his name? Willian, false nine, before you've played the up top. Do you know what I mean? Willian's... No, let me not even get started on Willian. But I just think the lack of creativity is his main problem, because I think Kane can make his own goals more than Aubameyang can. Like, Aubameyang kind of feeds on the end of goals, or like, I guess last season he had to do a lot more in terms of him scoring goals from outside the box, and that's not necessarily his game. Obviously, he's shown that he can do it, but he should be in the box finishing off moves. But there's no moves to finish off, so how is it going to happen? Whereas with Kane, I can't lie, none of this is surprising to me. Like, I would have called him world class from before. I guess, like, yeah, you could say the trophy's missing, but his talent has been undeniable. All it is his injury record, and if he gets a full season this season, I am worried. I'm scared for what he might do.
He's on pace for like 30 and 30, something mad like that.
Crazy.
Question for you: would you say Harry Kane is a better player than Aubameyang? And I'll leave it at that. And talk to me a bit about Aubameyang's form, where you stand on it. You know, is Manny making excuses for him when he says Arteta? No, the chance creation.
No, literally, Manny's speaking facts. Look, with regards to Aubameyang in particular, we got to remember it's a stint, man. We know what Aubameyang's capable of. As you said, numbers don't lie. He's a goal scorer. He's a striker, and he's great at doing what he does. Arsenal are going through a very, very low point. We can't ignore it. We can't just act like it's just Aubameyang out on the pitch. Lack of creativity. We're not giving him opportunities to score. What do you really expect? So, as I said, he's pissing me off.
Is he a better player than Harry Kane?
Can you let me get to that? I'm trying to process of elimination. But honestly, at the end of the day, I'm an Arsenal fan. Aubameyang is a better striker than Harry Kane. Right now, Kane is on absolute fire. Kane is he's creating shots. He's scoring goals. That he's doing everything that you'd expect from a striker in it. So you can't really fault him at the end of the day. And as you said, if you don't get injured, if he has a full season, it's going to be worrying for the league. But yeah, I just hope Aubameyang finally wakes up, man.
Yeah, he's gonna need to, because the sleep is we're like a third of the way through the season now. Like, he needs to wake up.
I know you're not talking, bro.
The Logan sometimes.
Oh, hey, listen. This is a preview, lads. This is a preview,
bro. We can really get. We can get.
It's a preview, lads. This is a preview. Jack, go on.
He scored again, so that's why.
Lasky scored again.
Well, we had another penalty and scored it.
What?
3-2 up, and then Lasky scored an absolute pelt. All three goals are all outside the box. This one was unstoppable, but Joe Hart is trash.
3-3 game, mate. That game sounds like a bloody
thrillers against Leicester.
literally.
Jesus.
But Jack, talk to me about Harry Kane, man. Just not obviously what he's done to start this season. You can touch on that, but more so just the perception of him and comparing him to Aubameyang, whether he's world class, the lack of trophies. Just talk to me about the whole storyline. Aubameyang versus Harry Kane.
They're both world class players at the end of the day. World class strikers. I didn't when Aubameyang started popping for Arsenal. That's when I was like, yeah, this guy's the real deal. Because to do it in multiple leagues, in multiple teams, in multiple styles, Aubameyang, and he's shown with numbers as well to back that up. World class. But Kane, he's just on another level. He's in his own zone up there with Lewandowski. Not in his own zone, but he's up there with Lewandowski. And in terms of ability as well, I mean.
He's speaking current facts. They are current facts. We can't ignore them.
Listen, this is his opinion. And right now, Harry Kane is on pace for one of the best seasons in the history of the league.
Yeah, but you can't compare it to Lewandowski though.
Listen,
I mean, come on, he's got a few years for that. Man.
Listen, if Harry Kane was in that Bayern team, would he be doing less than Lewandowski?
Probably. Do you know who Lewandowski is, bro?
He won't be doing as much as him. He'll be doing close.
Nah.
Harry Kane will give you 40 plus. 40
He'll
plus.
definitely be giving you. Listen, you're forgetting Harry Kane had 2 golden boots with us, 30 goals, 30 goal seasons with us, right? Without injury. With injury, obviously, he hasn't been able to do that. But when this guy's fit, unplayable, absolutely unplayable. He can do everything. He can do absolutely everything. He can score all types of goals. His creativity is immense. He's got 9 assists already in 10 games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this guy, what can't he do? He's not got pace. He's not been blessed with pace. I get that. But in terms of technique and ability, what can't he do? He can do everything. He can even defend. The guy was... I remember against West Ham, the guy he ran all the way back from the centre circle to make a goal-saving block. This guy, he's immense. I've not seen a player. Oh, I've seen top, Bale, Modric. They're like 2 of the 3 greatest players I've seen in our club. But Harry Kane, I've not seen a striker like him. Never.
He's a special player.
His ability to create is what really just sets him above the rest. In my opinion, because his finishing is obviously, I hear it is almost second to none, but the fact that obviously it's happened before this season, but this season especially, he's really come into his own, and he's so unselfish. But he's even in the same games, he's still able to get himself in a position to score as well. Like there's so many times that he's been able to score an assist in the same game, and it's nuts. I have to give him his use. Yeah, I got to give him his use for that. But his injury record is a bit worrying. Like I feel like it's probably only a matter of time before he gets injured this season, and it's just like the rest of the seasons. So that will be a defining factor for me, to be honest.
Fair.
It is a factor, but I think we've got someone. He's not playing midweek games in Europe anymore.
Very true.
Last season he was. Previous season he was. So I think that took a toll on him. We were massively reliant on him. We've also got Vinicius to come, and he's actually played well in some of the Europa League games. He's been good. So he's still got legs. He's shown how sharp he is already, and yeah, he's not. There's not as much of a reliance on him. There's not going to be as much of a reliance on him in terms of every game you play. He's not going to play every game.
No, for sure.
Yeah, but you guys haven't won many of the games that he hasn't played. It's in Europa. You guys aren't exactly flying without him.
No, we're not. But I think that's down to instructions and intensity. When we're literally playing at walking pace today. If you watch the game, absolutely not. There wasn't much running. There wasn't much intensity at all. And I think in Premier League games we do play with a different level of intensity, and I think that's where it matters. I think Jose knows that now that we're top, we're going to prioritise the league.
Listen, if Jose gets that done, that's a statement and a half. But, let's get to a combined 11. We'll start with. Listen, Harry Kane is guaranteed in. So there's no. We spoke on him, so he's in. But we'll go back to the keeper. You might go Leno or Lloris.
Lloris.
I don't know. At the beginning of the season, I would have said Leno 100%. I don't really trust Lloris like that.
Under Jose, Lloris has been.
Yeah, he's been hard.
He's clearly been instructed not to come out of it off his line like he used to, and he's one of the best shot stoppers in the world. Still, he's been immense. I'll put Lloris, but if it's down to a vote,
no, it's not a vote.
It's a good argument.
How Manny? Did you say Leno or?
No, this is the thing. Like, I was saying at the beginning of the season, I would have said Leno no contest, innit? But he's been looking a bit wearing under the lights himself. So, nah, man, fuck it. I'll put Leno in there.
Too much mistakes.
You man are nuts. So I said, fuck it.
Leno is a good keeper at the end of the day. He might not be the best shot stopper in the world, but he's a great keeper, and you can't blame him for the goals they're conceding, man. I don't by memory. I don't think he's made any serious mistakes leading to goals this season, has he?
No, my only thing.
No, he's made a couple, I think.
It's mainly along the theme of him just palming the ball out. So for 4 rebounds, it's too easy.
Exactly.
Like, he doesn't get out and wide.
And I think when he plays out the back, he makes mistakes when he tries to pass out the back as well.
These
guys don't know how to play out the back, and it's annoying that they're forcing it onto them.
Tiebreaker. Listen, I got to go with Lloris. Lloris has been big time, man, this season under Jose. But then again, he's got one of the best centre back partnerships in the league in front of him. But they got the best defensive record in the league. You got to roll with Lloris if we're talking about fine margins. Let's go left back. Obviously, you got Reguilon and Tierney.
This isn't. It's close.
I haven't been watching Reguilon too tough. I can't lie. Tierney's a great left back.
Again, I feel like Tierney's probably a better player, but he hasn't had a chance to really showcase that this season so far, to be honest. But yeah, I would go for Tierney myself.
Jack?
I wanted Tierney before before you got him, but I think he's a quality. I think he's actually quality. His energy as well. I think he's definitely got, but if going on form, it's got to be Reguilon. I think he's a good left back. He's
it is based on
anyway,
form.
But on form as well.
Yeah.
On top of that, he's been brilliant this season. And for Sevilla last season as well, it was sensational.
Yeah, I'm biased. I've got nothing against you Arsenal fans, but Reguilon. That guy's been balling this season. Do you know what I mean? He's been. I thought that he was going to be because remember, obviously, he was supposed to come to us before we got Tellers and ended up going to Spurs. I thought he was going to be dead, but listen, the guy's been playing well, man. No biases aside, he's actually been playing
well for a season or two before Real Madrid buy him back, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the tip I'm coming on. But let's go centre backs.
No, Gabriel has to be in there.
Gabriel gets us in there. He gets us in there.
No, you can have the other one because we ain't got anyone.
I'd agree. Gabriel and Dyer is probably fair, I think.
Gabriel and
Dyer?
In
terms of this season, I think Dyer's been a tad better than Toby.
Fair. And Dyer definitely has... I think now that he's solidified a position, he's... Jose's getting the best out of him, so you got to give him credit. Right back, Aurier. Or Bellerin, both two guys who are like highly regarded, but they're both dead. So who'd you go with?
Aurier makes more
one
mistakes.
of the best right backs this season, though.
That's the thing.
He's played at a very high level and he's eradicated the mistakes out of his.
He hasn't eradicated them.
Now that Doherty's about, Aurier's been playing better
so far.
I don't know. I still see him because he's the reason. Well, not the whole reason, but he wouldn't have drawn. You guys wouldn't have drawn against West Ham if he didn't do something stupid and concede a free kick like that. Like, it's literally just rash decisions sometimes, and especially I think he's good because he kind of plays as a wing back under Jose sometimes, and when he's going forward, he's amazing, isn't it? But defensively, I think there's still a lot to be decided. But
I agree generally, but this season he's actually been a lot more solid. He's been a bit. We play him over Doherty, and any day of the week, Doherty's a liability defensively because he's a wing back. Aurier is a right back and a wing back. He's been disciplined this season.
You know why I'm arguing so much, man? I don't even like Bellerin.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah, man, I'm literally just doing it for like. I have to back my boys in it, but I actually Bellerin is dead to me.
Yeah.
No.
Bellerin, he's been living off his name for the past 3 to 5 years, mate. So
No, he had a decent little stint. He was starting to show, but that was again under the Arteta rebirth. But now he's drying.
He's all right. He's functional, but he's not much more than that.
It's just he'll be good if we were doing what we were supposed to do and actually making progression going forward, because he goes forward. He helps in progression.
He can be one of our like most penetrative players at times. He's the only one that seems to be ready to take on people. But
still comes down to inconsistencies. We'll go with a 4-3-3. So who Jack, we'll start with you. Obviously, a couple of you guys, maybe one will be in there. Who's the first guy out of the Spurs midfield that you feel like he's got to be in there?
Højbjerg. Højbjerg, I was saying Dominic, but Højbjerg he's been probably our best player outside of
Harry and Son.
And Ndombele, Kane and Son have been immense as well. But Højbjerg has been arguably our most important player. He's been immense. He's one of the best midfielders in terms of, again, interceptions, passing, forward passing, pass success as well, and obviously tackles too. And he's just been that player we've needed. He's allowed us to be able to be in a more dynamic, interchanging system that we have been this season as opposed to the last. But definitely I'll put Højbjerg in there.
That's fair. You lads, is there anyone you think that stands out that deserves to get in the midfield?
Early contenders, Partey.
Man's played 2 games and he's a best. It's got to be Partey. He's a class above the rest. That's clear.
Double pivot of Højbjerg and Partey.
That would be nice.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's solid.
I'm trying to think who's the third. Yeah, because Sissoko, he's.
Ndombele, man.
Yeah,
it's got to be Ndombele.
No, I was thinking Sissoko versus, because Ndom has to be in. I was thinking Sissoko or Partey. You probably go with Partey, as we said.
So don't take the piss.
I'm not talking. It's based on form, though. It's based on form.
Even his form's been better over the 2 games. Like, that's calm down.
No, for sure. No, I'm saying that was the argument. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, roll with Partey, and then Ndom, man. Jack, chat to me about Ndom, man. Much maligned. You know, Jose was pulling up to his doorstep saying, "We're going to train now," and he's bounced back. He's come out the other end, and he's looking like a player.
This guy's his center of gravity, his passing ability, he's just always looking up, looking forward. This guy, compared to players like Winks and Dele Alli, this guy just always wants that ball going forward, and he's probably the most press-resistant midfielder in the league right now. You can have the ball, you can have 3 players around him, he'll still get through you. He'll find a way to get through. It's the way he shimmies and that drop of the shoulder is insane. And I thought Dembele was one of the best players I've ever seen at doing that.
Yeah, you've got that that Dembele trait where it's like, you could, as you said, you could put a bunch of guys around him. It feels like he'll still keep the ball in tight spaces. He knows what he's doing still. We'll go up top. It should be a lot of competition, but it's sticky right now. We'll start with you guys, Arsenal fans. Anyone that you feel like deserves to be in there?
I feel like
but this is tough. This is tough.
It's not tough. It's bad.
This is bad. Man. It's bad.
Based off form, my best striker is probably Nketiah. That's how bad it is. It's that real.
Well, Nketiah can't get in this team. Nketiah can't.
No, he ain't going nowhere.
I would happily put Aubameyang on the left.
I think Watson on the right.
Yeah.
That's the only way it can work. That's the only way it can work.
Oh yeah, because no one's really solidified the right
No,
side
Pepe could have snuck in. You can sneak Pepe in up there.
over.
Well, if we're going off form, Oba's only bagged the penalties. He's only bagging penalties. Pepe is actually scoring goals. He's actually
Or do
fair
we
enough.
give
It's
it
Europa.
Do we give it to Bergwijn?
No.
He hasn't set the world alight since joining us.
So, or Oba still finds a way to get in the lineup.
Yeah, man, he has to.
If it's Oba's son, Kane, yeah.
Based on quality, and if you're thinking about
Yeah.
what he can do in this combined 11, then yeah, you got to put him in there.
No, for sure, man. But boy, how many Arsenal players did we even get in the team? I think we got Gabriel, Partey, and Oba.
Fam, only the 2 new signings were solid.
Tierney.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you might try to sweet Tierney in there.
No, did we even?
I went with Regulon still. I went with
Yeah,
Regulon.
we didn't even get Tierney.
Orcs.
But this is the thing, though. Like,
Oh,
I think it's just been made abundantly clear this season and maybe last the lack of quality throughout the team, and especially since, like I said, the last two signings we've made, and the way that they stand out in the team, it just kind of shows how far we've fallen. Because these players should not be so different or so far separated from the rest of our players. But if one of them's not playing, if Partey's not playing, we are sweating. He's played 2 games.
Bro, the worst case scenario of that is the way Bruno changed things over at Manchester United. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the same situation that you're saying. The guys are coming and showing the level that that the other players should be at, but they're not there. Same way
Bruno gets the best out of some of the players.
For sure.
The best out of some of the other players.
For sure, but
because your team has good players that aren't playing well, whereas we just have bad players that play.
No, but
you might as well go good players that ain't playing well, dude.
Nah, I think
exactly. No, if we had Aubameyang and Pepe just playing on,
Lacazette is still a good player as well.
Don't bring Lacazette to
a lot of big mistake a lot of Arsenal fans do is this is why Arteta's getting a lot of blame. Not necessarily you guys, but a lot of Arsenal fans I know. Arteta's getting a lot of blame because their expectations of these players, the way they rate a lot of these players, it's crazy.
It's crazy. That's what Arsenal fans think.
I'm looking at a lot of the players that a lot of your fans rate, like Maitland-Niles, like Rob Holding,
Rob Holding.
But
that name I've never understood. It just doesn't. That never made sense to me.
Even
Wenger was backing him. I never got that one.
Bellerin, Xhaka, the way people on Twitter, especially the praise I see for Xhaka pisses me off. This guy is not fit to wear the shirt, you know. I don't understand.
He was the only thing keeping Arsenal alive at points.
And that's how shit we are. This is my point. Like, it doesn't mean anything.
Hey, what fam? Willian over Ziyech, shall I?
I've never in my life said that.
Robbie said, I found that today as well. He said Pepe over Son once as well.
Oh my
wow.
What could have been? What could have been though? No, but imagine if Pepe and Aubameyang could just have the chemistry Kane and Son had. It would be a different ball game.
But they're not on their level though. That's the thing.
No, individually,
Pepe ain't on Son's level.
Individually, they are.
Pepe ain't on Son's level.
I don't think anyone knows what level Pepe is on. No one knows. He hasn't unlocked. He hasn't even played football yet. Like,
the club done launched an investigation into that signing?
They launched an investigation
into that signing.
There's no explanation. It was fraud.
It might have been fraud.
I don't believe that. Oh my God,
guys, this has been a great preview. Boy, we got into a lot. As I said at the start of the pod, it's still a huge game. First versus 14th, but still North London derby. We know in a derby game, anyone can you throw form out the window. You know, anything can happen in a derby game. But yeah, man, it's been a great preview. I appreciate you guys for coming on. It's a huge game, man. Best of luck for you, Arsenal fans, Spurs fans. But listen, you can shout out your socials, let the people know where they can find you. Jack?
Yeah, you can follow me at THFC Jack and Touchline Hotspur as well, so that's at Spurs_touchline. So yeah, find us there. We do podcasts every Thursday, and we've got a North London Derby preview tomorrow and Touchline Fracas. So yeah.
Manny, where can people find you, bro?
I'm just here, look, like, I ain't got nothing to plug, to be honest.
Manny
Like,
_OA, I like.
just wow. You don't want to see me if Arsenal lose. Let me just say that. Right. But yeah, Manuel _OA on the socials.
Yes.
Let's get through this together, man.
Yeah, come on. Down there, J-Swab _.
Hey, it definitely says busy Olabinto down.
That's what. Ignore the government. No, literally. Thanks for having us again, man.
Nah, for sure, man. I appreciate you, man, for coming on. We'll definitely do it again. But check us out. Eyes on the Ball TV on Insta. _ on Insta, actually. Check out the YouTube channel. Subscribe to that. Hit the bell. All of that good stuff. We still got the podcast content coming out. So look forward to that. But I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We out.
Come on.